In this video, we're going to be talking about a shoulder warm-up prehab exercise. That's called middle school shoulders because it reminds me of stuff we used to do middle school PE, but hella effective. So the first chunk, we're going to be just using our hands, pushing them together. We can make this harder by pushing harder against our own hands, or we can make it a little bit easier, more sustainable by just relaxing off a little bit. Key things, we want to keep our elbows roughly parallel to the ground and roughly even with each other. So we're just going to start there, pressing in on hands, and then we're just going to get some rotations going. So we're just thinking about stabilizing through the shoulder and moving at the wrist and hand. And we'll go for about 10 seconds there. Then we're going to go Mr. Burns fingers, check in, make sure elbows are level, and same thing, rotating at the wrist, trying to be stable at the elbow and shoulder. Cool. So that's our first two chunks. Then we're going to go interlocking fingers. Same thing, keeping elbows nice and high. We want to think about our hips staying pointed forward, hips like headlights, and really rotating across the shoulder girdle, thoracic spine. So we want to keep that motion as limited to the thoracic spine as possible, the upper part of our back. So we'll go 10 seconds there, and then 10 seconds just reversing, switching the grip. Same idea. You can see struggling a little bit to keep the hips pointed forward, which is part of the challenge of that. All right, and then our last chunk, we're going to be just doing some shoulder circles using 3 different hand positions. So the first one we're going to start with is going to be palms up. So we're going to be to the ceiling, and we're just going to start with small circles going forward, gradually getting those bigger, all the way to as big as possible going forward, and then as big as possible going back, coming to medium-sized circles, which is the hardest transition, all the way down to little circles. Cool. So we can obviously scale that by how long we let that stretch out. I'd recommend, about 5 seconds, 3 to 5 seconds at each position on your first time through, and we scale that up a little bit more as we get more comfortable with it. So our next position is going to be palms facing forward, and we're going to go small circles coming forward, medium circles coming forward, big circles forward, and then reversing it, big circles back to medium circles back to small circles back. Cool. Then our last hand position will be palms facing down, small forward to medium forward to big, really exaggerating that motion, and then switching as big as we can coming back to medium coming back to small coming back. Cool. Should feel a lot in our traps, sometimes in our delts as well. And that's our middle school shoulder warm up.